Hey guys, how you doing? Everybody, YouTube, whoever's watching this right now. Basically, right now, I am debuting the new front end that I just installed on this machine. It's called Hyperspin. The one I was using before was, it was pretty good. I liked it. There was nothing wrong with it. In fact, actually, it was easier to set up than the Hyperspin was. What I was using before was called Maximus, and it's actually a really good, easy way to get your machine going. No doubt about it. However, the limits of Hyperspin are pretty much limitless. The graphical user interface is much better. So I decided to go ahead and put Hyperspin on this machine because of the presentation qualities, and you know, it just, well, you'll see here in a minute. Basically, I decided to do it because there's a lot more support for it. I mean, if you're willing to do the work involved to get Hyperspin running on your machine, it's well worth it. I can't really find anything out there that really compares to it. I believe there's some other things out there that I haven't tried yet. Maybe in the future I will, but as it is right now, Hyperspin really seems like the way to go for any main machine because it's so customizable. But you need to be willing to sit there for days and weeks and months and hours. I mean, if you're really good at this type of thing, there'd be no doubt that you'd probably have it up and running in no time, you know. For me, it was, you know, what did I want in my machine? What did I want it to look like, you know? And Hyperspin seemed like the way to go for me, so I went ahead and upgraded it, you know. I wouldn't even say upgraded, I just changed everything, you know. I actually have less systems installed on this. However, I subscribe to the Emu Movies website that offers all of the video game previews that you're going to be seeing here in a moment of all the different games that are out there. Now, eMovies doesn't have all of them, but they have pretty much all the important ones, and even some of the less important ones. I mean, they have a lot, and it's well worth $30 for the whole year. I suggest anyone that's going to be doing a Hyperspin front end subscribes to it, because it's well worth the money. I mean, if you can find it on a torrent somewhere or a Usenet article somewhere, go for it. But I mean, it seems to me that they really care about the quality. And if it wasn't for these guys, I mean, would we have any video previews of any of the games out there? I mean, maybe, you know, but Hyperspin recommends Emu Movies. And in fact, I wanted to donate to Hyperspin as well because it makes things a lot easier. I did this all on my own, and it was a lot of configuring, a lot of headaches, and I kind of see why they did that. They kind of give you like the tools to build your own thing going on, you know, but they don't really give out a whole lot of information on like, well, it needs to be like this, like that. They want you to donate, which is fine. I think it's $45, $50 or something like that for 100 years. So I mean, both services are well worth it. If you have the money, spend the $100, get Emu Movies and the Hyperspin donation service, because you're going to get a lot, and it's probably the easiest $100 you'll ever spend setting things up. So without further ado, I'd like to demo what I did, basically. So, in my previous videos, I pretty much showed everything that's here already. So I don't think anyone really wants to see that. So I'm going to go ahead and start it up, and basically I got my PC down here. I'm just going to go ahead and hit the power button. Now I can actually hook up a switch that extends that, like maybe up here or up here or something, but maybe a further project, and I don't know. It's easy enough just to turn it on down here. So here's the custom Windows XP loading screen. Excuse me. The thing boots pretty quick though. It's a Pentium 4, I think 1.5 gigs of RAM. You seen how fast that was? Oh, by the way, I actually have to turn on my sound up here because there's an amplifier that powers these big old speakers. Pretty cool. Way cooler than Maximus. So this is basically how the interface is. I mean, it's a lot neater, and you can add so many things to this. I mean, if you're good at coding and XML code, and and you understand their language, I mean, you can. I mean, I've got MAME, Sega CD, Genesis, Super Nintendo, I'm sorry, it's Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo, and the NES, and back to MAME. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different platforms running on this. And this thing has a 150 gig hard drive in it. It's an older computer. And believe it or not, it's full. It's full. I couldn't put another system on this if I wanted to. And the reason being is because of all the preview videos that you see here. Now this one won't come up. However, we go down. And it's got these preview videos here that you see, which is really cool for an attractive, and you'll see here in a minute that it's gonna, after I think 1 minute, you can set the time of when it starts scanning through all the games, and then it'll stop on a random one and it'll play the preview video, which is cool. Maximus did have that, but it just, I mean, the whole wheel interface, I mean, it's just cooler. So that's what I decided to do. I thought it was worth it. It took me about 3 days to figure it all out. And I'm going to link some tutorial videos in this video that helped me, that will probably help you as well. So, if you're going to undertake this kind of a project, I highly suggest you watch some of the videos I'm going to link and read the forums on the Hyperspin website. It's not easy. It's not easy. It uses a totally different interface, or totally different way of doing things than the other one I was using, Maximus. It all depends on what you want to do. Personally, I found that this works for me, and this is what I want to do. For you, you may like Maximus better. You may like some of the other front ends out there, but this is the one that I found that I like the most. But again, when you get into this type of thing, you got to expect some hiccups, lots of testing, lots of. I mean, it's because of the customizable interface that you're able to get out of this. It takes time. You're going to have to go through and set up different files and match the. That's another thing. The ROMs have to, the ROM names of the different systems have to match exactly what the Hyperspin configuration sets it to. And that's a good thing, because you want everything to match up correctly. I mean, in the past it was always like, oh, I have the game, but the video didn't match and the ROM didn't match. So the way they did it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, oh man, if you download some ROMs and they ain't named right, you're going to be spending a lot of time renaming the ROMs correctly. So thankfully I found a few different sites out there that offer all the ROM names in their correct order. Not all of it went that well, but the great part about it is you can take one directory, install Hyperspin with all the things you need, with all your emulators, ROMs, all into one folder, and if you want to put it on another machine you're building, it's just a matter of copying over to the other hard drive, and bam, all you have to do is set up your directories and you're done. So I'm going to grab a smoke here real quick. Hope you don't hate smokers. It's a dirty habit. Should probably all give it up, but yeah, I'm a smoker, so I'm going to have a cigarette while I'm talking to everybody. So anyway, here's the deal. And by the way, up here's my volume. This is all amplified through these speakers, so I can get some, because I use this as a jukebox as well. I can thumb drive it, you know, put some cool music on here or whatever you want to do. It's just a machine that pretty much does it all, you know. So I got this button set up to go back or cancel. Sega CD. One thing I did have problems with, if anyone out there can help me, was the fact that I couldn't get any of my preview videos to work with the Sega CD. I don't know why. I have tried and tried and tried to get all these things to work, and none of the preview videos work with Sega CD. I have no idea why. It's blowing my mind. And they're all original downloads from EMU movies, in which Hyperspin claims that, you know, it's supposed to work, and I can't figure it out. Anyway, you got Genesis. You can go into Genesis. Turn that down a little bit. You know, whatever it is, whatever you want. A little sports game there. We're in the W's. Oh, by the way, if you want to go to different, if I want to go to W, I can go to the right. There's X, back to W, back to B, U. Oh, that's a pretty cool one. Ultimate Mortal Kombat. Now, one thing I have not figured out yet, but I'm sure smart people out there have, is the fact that I can't get Fusion, which is the Genesis emulator, to exit on command. I can get it to boot just fine, but I have to open up under here. This is the keyboard and mouse under here, and I have to exit manually, which is bull. Maximus didn't have that problem, and I'm not sure why. Didn't really make any sense why Maximus would exit. Like I said before, it's really hard. It's not real hard, it's time consuming. You really have to read and know your shit, which is half the fun. I mean, if they made it too easy, I mean, you would never really understand the value of owning your own main machine, you know? Nintendo 64 emulator works pretty good. I haven't had any problems with it. Super Nintendo one works good. You remember all the cigarette burns you used to see on the machines? Yeah, it was probably me. So, I'm not really sure which one I want to play for you guys. Oh, here's X-Men, Children of the Atom. or X-Men versus Street Fighter. Hey, let's play that. Now I hit my start button, but it takes, for some weird reason, about, let's see, about 6 to 7 seconds for it to boot up. And it's saying I'm missing files. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, shit. I'm switching an awkward camera position here. Okay. We'll try X-Men. Okay, that one worked. I've heard, or I've done a little research on any games that you can't get to run through MAME if they're missing files. You have to extract them into a folder named by the same MAME folder. I haven't tested this yet, but I've seen people on YouTube who do this. They call them CHD files. And I guess certain games will not run unless they're extracted, and that's just, I don't know if that's true. I've read that, so I have my setup going, you know, where my green button here is the credits. And so I'm going to pick the guy, Wolverine.
In the 21st century, led by Magneto.
And if you want to increase the volume, this is a cool trick I learned. Hit the tab button. Oh, I'm sorry. Hit the tilde button. And then go to the right. Okay, that goes just to 0. But yeah, sometimes they come up in negative, so yeah, we're just gonna play this game. That's your power move there. I remember this game when I was about 9 or 10 or so, maybe older. I think I was in my teenage years. I was born in '82, so I'm not that old. But I do remember this game being in the arcades and as a 6-player thing. And it was so popular when it came out. You know, I remember jumping against moves. And then you got this big old move here that just blows people away. I remember playing this as a kid and beating this guy up, and I just always wanted to be in front of him, but yeah, I got shot a lot. Yeah, that hurt. But hey, guess what? I have infinity credits, so the great thing about owning a MAME machine like this is that all those arcade games you pump quarters in as a child, you could just beat because you have as many credits as you want, and it's arcade quality. I do have a TV in here, an old TV, old tube style TV. And wow, I'm getting my butt kicked in. Okay. Yeah, they don't make it very easy. But if I want to get out of the game, just hit the black button, bam, right back out. And back to the preview we go. X-Files, what the hell is that? It looks dirty. By the way, you will find some pornographic games on your, if you ever find a big torrent or something like that, you can find ROMs. And so this is MAME. There's WrestleMania. Remember this game? Doink the Clown versus The Undertaker. And you just have fun with this all day. Yeah, it's so cool. I want to go back and Let's play it. I see if my Nintendo's working. I'm not so sure that it's working right now, but I'm gonna try. I'm really gonna try and see how it works. It takes... And if you hold it to the left or right, you can select the letter. And then when you're done, hit S. And I'm gonna try and find Super Mario Brothers 3. That's my favorite one. Or 2. I see Super Mario Brothers 2 and I absolutely love it. Eventually I'd like to get some Nintendo controllers that hook up to USB, because it's a lot easier to play these games on an actual Nintendo controller. And you can buy them. I seen them on eBay for $17 for two Nintendo controllers. I mean, that's a deal. And you can hook those up. No, see? I like how these things reappear, like, just because I went out of the frame for a minute. Alright, let's try this again. It's not bad playing side-scrollers, especially Nintendo side-scrollers. Yay, one up. I used to love doing this as a kid. I knew, oh look, number 3. It was so cool to find this secret. Look, I'm playing Mario 3. It's so freaking awesome. And there's a quick star. Just so you know, if you're a raccoon and you get to the P and you run and hit that box, you're gonna get a star every time. I'm sure most everyone knows that. But if you didn't, there's a quick hint. Slide. Oh. I like to hold down the B button. Okay, if you're fast enough, you can actually go down that tube. Just so you know. Ah! Oh, there's another icon. So, as you can see, the Nintendo emulator does work. I just need to reinstall it. The directories got messed up during the transfer, which is no big deal. Okay, so I got a star as well. It was big, but I pretty much guarantee that if you had the P, you get a star. Die! Oh, I love this part. Boing. Oh, coins, coins, coins. Mario loves his coins. Anyway, you can see that it works, so... And it exits. It actually exits. So, you know, I'd love to sit here and show everybody. We'll try Super Nintendo real quick. super. Everything was super on Nintendo. Huh. Super Mario Brothers, Mario World. Here we go. See if it works. Oh, it's failed to start because of something. Yeah, another. I'm sorry, you guys. It does work. This is. I'm making this video. Based on everything I just transferred over, and as you saw, the MAME was working great. Nintendo needed some work, and Super Nintendo needed some work. Genesis, I already know what's wrong with it. I cannot get the emulator to stop working when I hit a button. I actually have to lift this thing up and cancel it out. It's retarded, but you know, I just wanted to quickly show off the new interface. If that means anything to anybody, I'm not sure. That's what I'm here for, is to show it off. I mean, you've seen in my previous videos and how I was getting things working through Maximus and whatnot. This is all new to me. So, I hope you enjoyed it. And, you know, if you guys have any questions or whatever, if I can help, I'll do my best. I can't guarantee you a result or an answer, but, you know, I can at least get you to this point. And yeah, it does a little track mode where it scans through everything and goes through all of it. Anyway, thanks you guys for watching, and I hope to hear from you guys soon. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.